Good morning, y'all. I've been MIA. I've been with my daughter though. So I know y'all saw some of the pictures. I was able to go on a 2-day camp, but I am back. I believe this is day 9. Man, I got a lot of days to go. But yeah, that's where I've been. So now I'm catching up and I'm gonna jump right back into my topics. So as y'all see today, I'll be talking about my quit day, kind of like taking y'all back before I was an entrepreneur and working for myself because I did have a job. I actually had several jobs. So with that being said, I don't know if they really count because it wasn't so much of when I was an adult. It's, probably back up when I was 14 years old. So I'm going to take you through the whole entire story of how I became like this entrepreneur, but my work history, because it does exist, just a little bit, but it exists. So going back, I first started working when I was 14 years old. Where I grew up, there was this program called the CETA program. Don't ask me, I forgot what it stood for or what it stands for, if it still exists. But it was called CETA. And it kind of gave people or a teenager something to do during the summer. It was a summer program, but we did get paid. So some kids were able to go into the forest preserve. I got to stay in the office. So y'all know, I thought I was doing something in the AC, working in the office. It was a good experience. And I did that for 2 summers. So that is my experience with the summer program when I was 14 years old, y'all. Started working when I was 14. Then when I was in high school, I was 16 years old when I got my real job at Walmart. Honey, y'all really can tell me nothing then. So my sophomore year all the way up through my senior year, I think I was in the middle of my sophomore year. Hey, Shay. Hey, Marla. When I started working, right? So from 16 to 18 years old, I worked at Walmart. So when I went on vacation, I bought all my stuff from Walmart. Good morning. Good morning, sis. Thank you for joining. Girl, I'm just talking about my work history because before I became an entrepreneur, I worked, starting back when I was 14 years old. So with that being said, Juanita, you remember the CETA program? That's where I started. 14 years old, working with Miss Jackson, working with Renee Spriggs, working with Tina, the Moses family. I don't know her name. But anyways, started there, right? So good morning, Rick. Thanks for joining me. I'm just talking about my work history, right? So 14 years old, 15, 16, 17, 18, working at Walmart. They actually wanted me to become a manager when I was still in school because I went to school during high school. Right after school, my shift at Walmart started at 4. So doing homework, all that stuff, I got a routine. And I was kind of cold. I still know every department at Walmart to this day. Y'all wouldn't even believe when I go in there, I still help some of the people, some of the cashiers if they don't know what to do. It's crazy. It's crazy some of the stuff you never forget. So anyways, yes, you remember. So anyway, from 18 to 20 years old, I got my little notes on the side. 18 to 20 years old, these are all the jobs I held down between 18 to 20. I worked at, I was in school, by the way. I went to Benedictine University, didn't graduate. They was really hell of expensive, and it really wasn't for me. Like, I went to school for nursing, and I had a minor in business. I was like, oh my God, I can't stay in school. I only did it, honestly, Ma, don't kill me. I only did it to get out of my mama's house, right? Because, at that age, you grown, or you think you grown, you don't want to listen. So that's the reason why I went to school, y'all. But I knew in my heart of hearts when I left that it really wasn't for me. And it's okay. So with that being said, while I was still going to school, I worked at a doctor's office. I worked at Krispy Kreme Donuts right around the corner from the college campus until that didn't work out for me. That smell was so sweet. Hey, Dana, that smell, I couldn't make that smell. I had a great schedule, and I knew the district manager. So she would hook me up. So she was like, whatever schedule you need to work, that was fine. So it really wasn't the schedule. It was just the atmosphere, the people that was in there. I'm like, oh. Anyway, So that was Krispy Kreme. I also worked at Home Depot. So I did it all, trying to make them coins, and trying to help pay for school as well, because the scholarship only went so far. So with that being said, I actually came home after about a year and a half of being in the school. I was like, ain't no sense of paying for it, because I'm not learning anything. I'm not really applying myself, because I didn't want to be there. Now you think about all the kids or the parents who make their kids go to school and then yell at them for, not achieving. They're not applying themselves because they really don't want to be there. And nowadays we have more options. You have a lot of trade schools. And of course, I'm always representing entrepreneurship, but give them a choice. It's definitely options out there, and college ain't for everybody. I thought it was for me, but it wasn't. And so it didn't hurt me. It actually helped me to find out what I really wanted to do, and that was help people and make money. And I just had to figure out how to put them together. So, give your kids some slack. Don't just say, oh, you're going to school, you're going to the military. Because, I'm sorry, Black folks good for that. You're getting out of here, you're going to go to school, or you're going to go to the military. When it's nowadays, it's about to be 2020. It is so much more on the table and so many other options out there. So with that being said, that is, 18 to 20 years old. Hey, Lexi, Lakeisha, Rochelle. Thank you so much for joining. Girl, I'm just talking about a quit day. Some of y'all may have had it already. Some of y'all may want to, but just know it's other options. I'm just repeating and going back to my history. I've been working since I was 14 years old. So with that being said, we are moving to, that was 20 to 23, right? When I worked all those jobs. Good morning, Pastor Nissa. So 20 to 23, working and in school, right? Good morning. And so I actually went and got my CNA license, because I know I had to do something. With me not having a college degree, I was like, I still need to make some money. And Walmart at that time wasn't an option for me because I didn't have a car. So I needed to go somewhere where I can bum a ride and where I can get to work. And I actually ended up working at a nursing home. So I got my, good morning, Lexi. I got my CNA certificate. It was a 5-week course. And then I started working at a nursing home off of Harlem. This is back in Illinois, because y'all know I'm from Illinois. So everybody on here who is familiar, Harlem Avenue was called the Pinnacle. Since then, I'm pretty sure they changed it like 6 times. But anyway, that started my healthcare career, job, field, whatever you want to call it. So from 20 to 23 years old, I worked as a CNA. So I'm knocking all kinds of stuff down. This is what led up to my quit. That's a lot. I just took y'all back a couple years. So anyway, that quit day for me looked like this. So way out west, Pastor Nissa, this is what happened. My last job was at this place called Briar Place Nursing Home in LaGrange, Illinois. And I was like, they didn't have, if any of y'all have experience with nursing homes or the not so good ones, because that's where I worked at, honestly. I worked in the hospitals, I worked at retirement centers, but primarily I worked in the nursing home. And this one place was so terrible. I quit that day. I was on day 2 of orientation, really wasn't doing too much work, just following and kind of seeing what the day-to-day operations was. So I come in to work, right? Following and shadowing this one lady, everybody's calling off. It's like 50 residents on one floor. I was on the first floor, and instead of, this is orientation day, right? They wanted her to take half or one side, and they wanted me to take the other side. So I'm like, okay, I can try to hang in there. Let me try to, get myself together. There was no towels. There was no cleaning. There was no nothing for these residents. It's crazy. I wouldn't even keep my dog in that place. So I felt bad for leaving them like that, but I went on my 15-minute break. You're not supposed to leave the building on a 15-minute break. You can leave the building on lunch. 15-minute break, you kind of go downstairs in the lunch area. Child, please. I got in my car and I drove away. I was friends with this girl, and she saw me getting in my car and she called me. She's like, Chanel, where you going? I'm like, I'm going. I quit. I can't do this. This is not for me. I knew then that not only that job was not for me, but a job was not for me. I tried it, y'all. I've been trying to work since I was 14 years old. I didn't just pop up and become this Chanel. This is a history. Y'all laughing. This is a history. Like, it may not be everybody's history, but it's mine. But I knew at an early age that it wasn't for me. Hey, sis, working a job was not for me. It won't be for me. It's never for me. Now, with that being said, I'm not knocking jobs, and I'm not saying that I would never work one if I have to. But what I know and the purpose that God put on my life, this ain't that. So anyways, I got in my car and I left that day. My last job when I was 23 years old. I am 35, a fine 35 years old, married with 3 whole kids. And so that a lot of people was asking me, how did you start, how do you start, being an entrepreneur? How do you start working for yourself? And that's kind of like my history. So I'm taking y'all back. Out of my entire official whole adult life, I worked 5 years. Hey, sis. That's my Cook County Sheriff sister, y'all. Hey, I love you. Mila, I'm telling the people my job history, because you was there. That's my real sister, y'all. That's my real sister, blood sister. So I talked about, back in the CETA program, 14, 15 years old, the history, Walmart, CETA, the doctor's office, me not having a degree. I don't have a degree to this day, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm also not ashamed to say that I don't have $50,000 in debt in student loans, that I see it all the time. So with that being said, I am hopping off because I got some trainings. Y'all take what you will from that. Being an entrepreneur, it requires a lot of work once you figure out what your goal is and what your purpose is, but you don't become a full-fledged entrepreneur overnight. That's a lie from the pit of hell. That is of the devil. That is a lie. But what I can encourage you to do, and what I do encourage you to do, is find whatever your passion is, find a way to make money with it. Right? If you're working a 9 to 5, which is totally fine. But if you want to make some extra money nowadays, you need to. But if you want to make some extra money, have you a side gig, a side business, whatever you want to call it, and start with that. So the biggest takeaway is entrepreneurship may or may not be for everybody, but side income, I promise you, is for everybody, because those bills, it don't matter where the money is coming from, as long as it's coming. So if you're going to have several bills, you need several streams of income to pay those bills. So with that being said, good morning, Stefan and Laura. Thanks for joining me. Y'all check this video out. It's kind of a little funny, letting y'all into my life just a little bit, where I came from, my history, no degree to entrepreneurship, no college, also no college debt. And so just letting your kids know that there are options out there, instead of a lot of Black parents saying you're getting out of my house at 18 years old, you're going to go to school, or you're going to go to the military. Sit down and have an open, honest conversation with them to see what it is that they like to do. And maybe you can push them towards that and help them be successful. Everybody's success does not equal yours. Success may be different to me. Success may not be money for you. It's not money for me. I told y'all the other day, success to me means being able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, however long you want to do it, with whom you want to do it with. That's success to me. Just being on your own time and making your own schedule. Of course, the money is necessary. The money is right up there. Like, if you need it just as much as you need to breathe. So it's like air is here, money is here. You need it in this physical world. So that is about it. I got some training and some calls to do. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to put my link on YouTube because I want y'all to go on over there, click it, follow me, and subscribe. So thank y'all for joining me. I hope you have a good day. Bye.